a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Joe McElderry. Joseph McElderry is an English singer and songwriter. He won the 6th series of the ITV show The X Factor in 2009. His first single, The Climb, reached number 1 on both the UK Singles Chart and the Irish Singles Charts. He was also crowned the winner of the 2nd series of Popstar to Operastar in 2011 and the 1st series of The Jump in 2014. In 2015, McElderry played the lead role of Joseph in the touring production of the Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice musical Joseph and the Amazing Technicolour Dreamcoat. To date he has released 5 top 20 albums, 3 of them reaching a UK top 3, a record for a solo X Factor winner. He was the first X Factor contestant to release a 4th album. As of 2014, McElderry has sold over 2 million records worldwide. Early life. Born in South Shields, England, McElderry is the only child of Jim and Eileen McElderry. The couple separated when McElderry was a child. He was raised in a small flat on Tyneside. McElderry attended Untitled Technicolour College in Lyle Road, South Shields, before joining South Tyneside College to study A-level school qualifications, and Newcastle College to study performing arts. He was the pride of South Tyneside's Young Performer of the Year in 2008. He studied for BTEC National Diploma in Performing Arts at Newcastle College Performance Academy. He took the role of Danny Zuko in Grease performed at Untitled Technicolour College. In X Factor. McElderry auditioned for the X Factor in 2007 and made it to boot camp. He then felt he was too young compared to the other contestants and opted to walk away. He auditioned again in 2009 in Manchester and sang Luther Vandross' Dance with My Father, mentored by Cheryl Cole. He made it through to the live finals and was announced the winner on the 13th of December 2009, beating runner-up Holly Murs with his version of The Climb. McElderry's prize, as winner, was a recording contract with Simon Cowell's Sicko record label, whose parent company is Sony Music Entertainment. The contract has a stated value of £1 million, of which £150,000 is a cash advance and the remainder allocated to recording and marketing costs. The single, The Climb, was released as McElderry's debut single. Along with the X Factor finalists, McElderry recorded vocal for featured on a charity single, a cover of Michael Jackson's hit, You Are Not Alone. It was released in aid of London's Great Ormond Street Hospital. The finalists premiered the song live on the edition of the 15th of November of the programme. The single was available for digital download that day, and a physical release followed the day after. The single reached number 1 in the UK Singles Chart. McElderry performed the following songs during the contest. After the X Factor. McElderry's debut single, The Climb, was available to download at midnight on the 14th of December 2009 and was released physically on the 16th of December 2009. According to industry sources, approximately 100,000 copies of the single were sold on the day of its release, but it was not enough to knock Rage Against the Machine off the spot in the UK in its opening week. On the 18th of December 2009, it was announced that McElderry secured the top spot in the Irish Singles Chart for 17th of December 2009. The Climb was a contender for 2009's UK Christmas number 1, competing against, and losing to, Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name. McElderry's single sold 450,000 compared to Rage Against the Machine's 502,000 after a Facebook-based campaign was started in protest of the X Factor's dominance of the Christmas number 1 title. This was the first time since 2004 that the X Factor winning single was denied the top spot for Christmas in the UK Singles Charts. Simon Cowell stated that he was gutted for Joe, because a number 1 single meant a lot to him. But I have to congratulate John and Tracy Mortar, who started the Facebook campaign. McElderry's single stayed at number 1 on the Irish charts for a second week, securing him the Irish Christmas number 1, and the song moved up to the top spot in the UK Singles Chart on the 27th of December. The single had the 5th highest sales of all UK singles released in 2009, staying 1 week at 1, and was the top-selling Irish single of 2009. where it remained at the top spot for 4 consecutive weeks. The Climb was nominated in the British single category at the 2010 Brit Awards, but lost out to fellow X Factor contestants Jess. McElderry performed Don't Stop Believin' and presented an award at the 15th National Television Awards in London on the 20th of January 2010. In January 2010, he participated in the Helping Haiti charity single, a cover of Everybody Hurts, arranged by Simon Cowell in order to raise money for victims of the 2010 Haiti earthquake. McElderry took part in the Great North Run Half Marathon 21.0975 km race on the 19th of September 2010, raising money for Teenage Cancer Trust. McElderry and 7 other finalists, Ollie Murs, Stacey Solomon, Danielle Johnson, Lloyd Daniels, John and Edward, Jamie Archer and Lucy Jones, appeared in the X Factor Live tour, which began on the 15th of February 2010 at the Echo Arena, Liverpool, and concluded on the 4th of April at the SEC. McElderry performed the songs Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, Love Story, Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word, She's Out of My Life, Don't Stop Believin', and his debut single, The Climb, on the tour. On the 15th of March, it was reported that McElderry had signed a modelling deal with Next Models. He performed on Radio 1's Big Weekend on the 22nd of May 2010, singing an acoustic version of Don't Stop Believin' and Telephone in the live lounge tent, and he also performed Don't Stop Believin' and his single, The Climb, on the 519 show. In 2010, McElderry recorded his debut album Wide Awake, released on the 25th of October 2010. Producers of the album included Dallas Austin and John Shanks. He launched the album with a performance at GAY 2010-11, Wide Awake and Departure from Sicko. The first single released from Wide Awake was Ambitions, a cover of a song by Norwegian band Donkey Boy. He filmed a music video for the song in September 2010. The video was directed by Nigel Dick. Ambitions premiered on BBC Radio 1 on the 19th of September 2010. The single went on sale on the 8th of October 2010 in Ireland. It went on sale by digital download in United Kingdom on the 10th of October 2010, with a physical CD available for purchase in the United Kingdom the following day. The song debuted at number 6 on the UK Singles Chart and number 4 on the Irish chart. McElderry's album Wide Awake debuted at number 3 on the UK Albums Chart, with retail sales of 39,405 copies in the country during the album's first week of release. The album fell to number 20 on the chart the following week, and to number 40 the week after that. As of the 4th of December 2011, 101,454 copies of the album had been sold at retail in the United Kingdom. Someone Wake Me Up was the second single taken from the album. It was released as a single on the 5th of December 2010 in the United Kingdom. It debuted and peaked at number 68 on the UK Singles Chart. McElderry was approached by 20th Century Fox to record the specially written track, There's a Place for Us, written by American songstress Carrie Underwood, which features in the soundtrack to The Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and was also the B-side to Someone Wake Me Up. The song was nominated for a Golden Globe Award in 2011 for Best Original Song Motion Picture. After Someone Wake Me Up, McElderry released no further singles or albums with Sicko. On the 15th of April 2011, it was reported in the news media that McElderry's contract with Sicko would not be renewed when it expired the following month. No publicly named person from Sicko has made an on-the-record comment about the end of the company's relationship with McElderry. In an interview that aired on the 18th of May 2011 on the television program Northeast Tonight, McElderry made his first public comments about his departure from the company. He said in the interview that he had no regrets about anything that he had done in the previous 2 years. In radio interviews during the month of July 2011, McElderry spoke further about the circumstances of the end of his relationship with Sicko. He told Terry Wogan in an interview on BBC Radio 2 that he had actually parted ways with Sicko in February 2011. In an interview with Real Radio that aired on the 13th of July 2011, McElderry, when speaking about his commercial struggles, said, "I think a lot of it was to do with the fact that I went away for so long. I think we left it a bit too late with releasing the album. but I think it's also down to the label. He said that there were timing issues, and we missed out on a few things. On the 14th of July 2011, McElderry told BBC Newcastle that he wasn't happy when he was with Sicko. He said that Sicko had made mistakes, timing-wise, and in the marketing side of things. He added that he was happy with his album, Wide Awake, although, if he had to do it over again, maybe he would have included a few more ballads. But he added that the album's songs gave him some great fast material to perform alongside ballads when he performed live, and also said that, when he was making the album, he wanted to show that he could be diverse and perform fast songs as well as ballads of the type that he had performed on X Factor. McElderry told Tony Horn that he had a meeting with Sicko staff members in February 2011. At the meeting, he expressed his unhappiness with the company, and said to staff members that his relationship with Sicko was not working for him. According to McElderry, the staff members said that they felt the same way, and all concerned agreed to go their separate ways. McElderry also told BBC Newcastle, "I just needed to go out and explore on my own and fend for myself a bit instead of being in this huge kind of establishment that kind of protected us. I needed to go out there and be a proper artist and fend for myself, by myself, and do things my way." McElderry also stated that his split with Sicko was amicable, and there was no fight between them. He told Tony Horn, "I'm still great friends with all the team there." He told the Shields Gazette, "I really like Simon Cowell, and always think very highly of him. There's no hard feelings there. There never has been and never will be." He told Capital FM on the 19th of August 2011 that he was forever thankful to Sicko and Simon Cowell for the opportunity they gave him, adding, "I love them to bits." In the same interview, he said he was a massive fan of X Factor. He also denied the report that he was devastated when Sicko dropped him. He said in radio interviews that he had not been depressed. He told the Sunday Mirror, "Being dumped by Sicko wasn't the end of my world. It was the opposite. I'm actually glad it happened. People were coming up to me thinking I was going to be depressed, but I honestly wasn't. My thoughts were, right, let's get on with it and work out what to do next." Later, he told Out in the City magazine, "I mean this in the least big-headed way possible, but it wasn't a depressing time. Obviously, getting dropped by your record label is not an ideal situation, but I just kind of thought, okay, what's next? Let's move on to the next chapter." I didn't dwell on it. I don't want to say that I wasn't bothered, because obviously I care about my music, but I kind of thought, right, let's go out and explore who I'm going to release music with next. It was an exciting time, as well as being a kind of wake-up, I suppose. Also in 2011, McElderry terminated his relationship with Modest Management, the management company that had managed him since his victory on X Factor. He subsequently hired Angie Jenkinson as his new manager. In March 2013, McElderry signed to London-based Touchstone Media Group / Celeb Agents as his new management. On the 9th of May 2011, McElderry performed the song, "Something's Coming," from West Side Story at a reception at Buckingham Palace that celebrated young people in the performing arts. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more